All right. Hi guys. We're just gonna do tonight's, little lesson, I guess, early today because I have work tonight and I promised to have a morning and night video. So I guess you're gonna get two middle of the day videos. Well, I keep saying I'm sorry. So I guess today, just with the past couple of days and talking to my friends, they've been really struggling with breakups. Instantly, I know everyone goes through breakups. Everyone's like, oh my God, like, he broke up with me, she broke up with me, this and that. But at the end of the day, it's okay. It's gonna be okay. Last night, I had a friend come to me and talk to me about how she felt with one, and even if you just need a friend or advice, I will be here to give it to you, which I've learned from my own words. So I'll just, wing it. Basically, when you get broken up with, I guess, you feel like you have nothing. You feel like you have no one. You feel like you're lost. You feel like you have no place to go. But you know what? God knows. God's there. But do we ever instantly go to that? No, because we're human. We don't instantly go into going to the Bible, getting into prayer. We instantly go to social media. We go into texting them and calling them. We keep clinging on to a hope that might not just be there anymore because God's taking them out of your life. And like it said, that God puts people in your life for a reason and he takes them out for a purpose. And I'm a heavy believer of that. Everyone I've met and everyone that's come into my life, I believe, has had a strong impact on my life and has meant something to me. And I guess I'm just here to share some points about breakups. Number one, your world is not over. You still need to go. You still need to go to work. You still need to go to that interview. You still need to go do that responsibility. You still need to go feed your cat, feed your dog, walk your dog. You still need to live your life. Because who's to say that he deserves that time that he's taken away from you or she's taken away from you? You can't sit here and, put life on pause just because you feel like your world is crashing. If you're in college and you have a breakup, you can't just not go to that class. You can't just not show up and, not get that degree because that's what you owe yourself. You owe yourself to go to that class, to feed that cat, to go accomplish your responsibilities in the day, go to work. You're getting that money, you're getting that bread. And you deserve that for yourself. And no one else does. I just think a lot of us go to instantly, like me, I've done it, I have done it. It's just, you feel like you can't do anything, so you won't do anything. But at the end of the day, what's that going to make you feel? That's going to make you feel more anxious. You're going to feel more sick. You're going to feel more stressed out because you're not up and you're not getting ready. You're not being responsible for your life. That person who broke up with you is going to go on and live their life. They're going to do whatever they want to do, and you're going to sit there behind and just watch it and make yourself even sadder and become depressed. And that's something you have to say today is, I choose not to be depressed. I choose to cling on to something that I hope will happen. You can't do that. You have to cling on God. You have to cling on the Word. You have to cling on your friends, your family, if you have any. You have to go to them and you have to seek guidance. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, you need to do this for you. And another thing is, even when, like I said, times go wrong, you want to quit. You don't want to do anything. But you have to, even if you don't want to. And a lot of people don't get that. I didn't get that. You still have to get up, you still have to get ready, and you still have to get dressed. And I feel like a lot of women, not saying that men don't, but I'm saying a lot of women just go through the emotions and they think, woe is me, and like I said, why did this happen to me? And there's not anyone to blame. There's not, because like it said, God brings people in your life and they change it. They honestly, sometimes they mess up your entire world, your entire way of thinking, and you can't just stop it there. You have to go on. You have to go on with how they messed up your world in the positive ways that they did. Because who's to say that you were to stop what God has planned for you? And I don't know. I just feel like a lot of my friends need to hear that today. And know that they're not alone. Like, they're not. I go through the same things, and I get it, and I understand. But we're all young. We all have our life ahead of us. We don't know where we're gonna be tomorrow. We don't know what God's plans are for us. But you're not alone, and you shouldn't be doing it alone. Gosh. And I don't know, this has been really hard. It's been hard to hear, what your friends think about themselves once that person leaves, once that significant other, just drops off the earth. And honestly, it's not you, it's God. It's God. It's basically like some of a single person's darkest days when they fall apart or after a breakup. You risked your heart and you shared your life with someone. You brought the gifts that made the memories and your dreams together. And it all fell apart. And now you're back to square one in the quest for, what am I going to do next? How am I going to live my life? And, just all because you've spent all this time, you're losing your time. You're losing your time just wondering about this stuff. You're not praying, you're not doing anything. And no one begins dating someone hoping to break it off someday. The wiring of most of us has to be longing for, like when we get married, like we're looking for something that's going to last us a lifetime of love and affection and security and companionship and commitment and integrity and help. And after all, God seems to do the most of us to get married in Genesis 2:18 and Proverbs 18:22 and 1 Galatians 7:2. But that sure hasn't, made getting married easier or like getting in a relationship easier. I know that for sure. And the pain of intimacy without, going through it. The reality is that good Christ relationships very often fail before anything happens, anything sprouts, love starts. And the pain cuts deeper and lingers longer than most pain young people have felt in their lives because they've felt that spiritual bond. I feel it deeply when I had typed up my notes, and it's one of the hardest things for me to write and speak that, when you trust in God, you feel like He has you completely. And when that relationship ends, it breaks you. But you guys, it's okay to cry. And you probably should. You shouldn't keep it in. Because breakups almost always hurt. Maybe you didn't see it coming, or the other person suddenly wants out. The other person wants to give up. They want to feed into the negativity and the conviction of those worldly things. Maybe you were convinced it needed to end, but you knew how hard it would be to tell them. Maybe you've been together for years or months, and maybe you love their family and you love their friends, and without this, it feels like you can't tell them. It feels like breakup is for a reason. You weren't made for this misery. God engineered romance to express itself in fidelity and loyalty and oneness. Genesis 2:24, Matthew 19:9, 1 Corinthians 7:2-13. Because dating is only a means to marriage. God's design for our marriage speaks to design for our dating relationships. Dating that dives in too quickly or dumps too carelessly does not reflect God's intention. This doesn't mean, every dating relationship should end in marriage, but it does mean breakups will hurt. Sorrow in the midst of this suffering is not only a shameful thing that you need to hide, but it's for the better. Because God created you to enjoy the thrive in love that lasts, like God's lasting love for his bride. So feel free and know that the pain points to something beautiful about your God and his undying love for you. And if it doesn't hurt, it probably should. If you can come in and out of romance without pain or remorse, something sounds out of sync. This doesn't mean that you have to be ruined to every breakup. This doesn't mean you have to, say, oh, I can't do this anymore, I can't do that. I don't know. Oh, okay, it's back. Sorry, my sister was calling me. Hearts weren't built to be borrowed. God needs to show some of us that the gravity of failed relationships because of what they've wrongly suggested about him and his love for the church. And don't try again too quickly, because at the end of the day, God created you to enjoy the thrive and love that lasts. Hearts weren't built to be borrowed. If someone easily can take your heart and then take it for granted, then they weren't meant to be in your life because they're just throwing you away. And at the end of the day, it's as if even if you can't be friends now, you will be siblings forever with these people. For Christian relationships, breakups are never the end. Whether it sounds appealing or not, you will be together forever. In Revelation 7, 9, and 10 that I read today, it says that after this I looked, and behold, a great multitude that no one could number, from every nation, from all the tribes, the peoples, and languages, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed in white robes with palm branches in them. And you'll do so in this world where no one is married and everyone is happy. Sounds good to me. Good to be true. I don't know. So what would it mean to move on and think about our ex in the light of eternity? Well, while you'll meet again and forever in heaven, you may not be able to be friends now, but it's not necessarily sinful. In fact, in many cases, the healthiest thing emotionally and spiritually will be created with some space and boundaries. Hearts that have been given away at whatever level need to heal and develop new expectations again. Reconciliation does not require closure. It does not require forgiveness and brotherly love. You could start praying for them even when you can't handle talking to them. Pray that their faith would increase, that God would bring them around at some point in your life, and that he would heal and restore their hearts and your hearts, and that he would make them more like Jesus. We need to learn to live today in our relationships, old and new, in light of our eternity together. Our patience, kindness, and forgiveness of breakups will shine beautifully next to the selfish. The responses that reality TV tell us, and the adoption of the words that the world gives us. Because at the end of the day, like I said in the beginning, it's not you, it's not them, it's God. And God very well may lead you to that breakup, but don't use him to disgrace his name, because he did this for a reason. And yeah, so I'm gonna go. And yeah, I just really hope you guys got something out of this, because I know a lot of people are going through breakups at this time, and it is the season where, you're supposed to be together, you're supposed to be with family, you're supposed to be rejoicing and joy, but breakups happen. You can't control it. And, our Father knows our needs, and Jesus will help us find the joy in the shadows of heartbreaks. it's not the end. Like, a lot of people want us to believe, and you never know. They may come back, and you may be a better you than you could have ever been in that relationship. And I would say I choose to do that every single day, and, you know, not hold on to everything old. But thanks, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and I hope my friends are watching it and really learning something from it, because it took me, you know, today just to get in the Word a little bit, and I found something that, you know, touched my heart. But thanks, guys.